Welcome in, everybody, to Living Waters Sketches, where we believe that telling people's stories helps us build community. And so joining me as always, Christina, hanging out. I'll give you her Twitter handle or her IG handle. No.
We don't do Twitter this generation.
Oh.
Actually, no, I just don't do Twitter.
Speaking of generations, I should give out your email address. What was that? It was, remind me?
There, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Deleted.
Yeah, right. Well, Christina's here as always. And joining us today is Tom Boyles. We thought it would be fun. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
We thought it would be fun to start out these Living Water Sketches by interviewing our folks on our leadership council. It lets people know who our leadership council is. It also gives us a chance to tell some stories and build that connectivity that we're trying to build within the community. So, hi, Tom. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you've been on leadership council for a little bit, through this crazy time.
For a minute.
Oh.
Yeah, for a minute. So, doing a great job.
You're
We love
still
having
here.
you on there.
Yeah.
We've made it.
Yeah.
We've made it this far. No going back now.
Right.
So,
Is there?
What's that?
No going back.
Yeah. Well, I said it out loud, so maybe it is
Yeah,
an option.
I know. Now it's.
I shouldn't have said
It's recorded.
Yeah,
No,
there is no going back. I'm stamping that. And so to begin our sketches we've been doing is to ask the person that we're interviewing what their favorite snack is. And so Tom, his favorite snack is graham crackers and milk. And so we've been excited about this one because
All week.
both of us
I've been
have.
looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Nice.
both of us have pretty strong opinions, it turns out, about graham crackers and milk. So we're going to let you said there's a special way to do it. So why don't you tell us, why is graham crackers and milk? Is it sentimental or is it just something you love?
I think there's some sentimental. I mean, I remember it was one of my dad's favorites, and I just remember that it was not a single cracker, dipping it in and eating. Like there was something about it. I mean, there's a reason. If you look at your graham cracker, there is a dotted line to break it into 4 pieces. You don't break it into 4 pieces. Yeah. There's an optional, the whole thing. Right. I mean, which is a little, probably wrong because you're going to stick this
we
whole,
won't say it's wrong, but
not
it's
the
wrong.
whole length of it. Obviously, you're going to take a bite, but there's something about being able to make yourself a little stack. Because now you're going to be able to soak in way more of the milk.
Okay, so teach us the ways.
Okay.
Teach us the ways. Okay.
So, all right. So we've got
our
This
milk.
is very different from
Christina
my way.
was nice enough to put a bowl here. Usually, if the bad thing about it is if you get the package, you're devouring the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's
limits.
Yeah. So we're gonna limit here. All right. So usually I'll it's 2 at this point. Now, if it's like this, and this is going to be the option. So as you can see, little dotted lines. Can you guys see that? It's perfect. So you have the option of if it's like this, it's going to be 2. However, because there's the dotted line, and you have,
which way do you break it?
Oh man,
you can do it one of the, if you go this way, it's a little, you're going to immediately be putting your fingers in the milk. So you don't want to do
nobody
that.
wants that.
Okay.
So if you get good,
this is a harder.
You can
This is
I know.
crack
harder.
it
I know.
in
This
half.
is a harder break.
And the problem is if you do it that way and you can get it, it doesn't always work.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So see if you can get it to where see.
I got 2/3.
Yep.
Yeah. So that makes it a little tough. If you can get it to break, you're close.
I think you won.
Yeah, not
if
bad.
if you can get it, I think the idea is not to get it. This is probably going to fail too because there you go.
Professional.
So if you can get it to go like that, now you can do the stack like this. However, because I destroyed this one,
I got it now.
You do a stack of 4.
I don't have it.
no. So if I can do another one, which I did,
Failed.
Oh, look at you
so
go.
it's
Yep.
Wow.
So-
Okay, I think I'm just gonna do the miniature.
so
Look at
so
that.
this
I'm gonna
this
go with
is how.
You want 4? You gotta have at least 4.
So I know this is so bad. This is going to get recorded.
this is ridiculous.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to see Christina do this.
Okay.
But
I got my 4.
okay. This is really bad that
Oh,
it's
wait,
going
so
to be.
now is there an art to dipping it in the milk? Because
It's got to be a timer.
I have an art to dipping it into the milk.
Well, okay. Well, I'd like to hear the only art that I put to it is not too short because you don't want it to. You want it to be nice and soggy, but not too long because then you don't want it to fall apart.
And is there anything better to eat on a live microphone than graham crackers and milk for the sound that we're about to make?
I might have to back off from the mic when
We'll
okay.
slowly back.
So, and I usually just go half. You guys are kind of 3/4 sort of. So you might,
winging it.
finger in. But if you could do it that way, then you can go right to the dotted line, and not too long.
The line matters.
Don't wait for me. You guys, no, not really.
You're showing us how it's done, though.
There we go.
You guys got it. And
Oh,
then,
gosh.
see, I waited too long. But there's a beauty to it. Not only do you make
The
a mess,
professional lost half of his.
because I waited too long because I was watching you guys.
You won,
But
Tom. That was
the
amazing.
beauty of this is then when you get to the second half, you just go a full in. And then your fingers and all, get it enough. I gotta move this because I'll make more of a mess. I'm probably on myself. Oh yeah, noises and everything.
Crackers and milk is a great snack.
I didn't know that other people did this.
It
It's
reminds me of being a kid, but I still do it all the time.
I
absolutely.
haven't done this since I was a kid.
So I'll show you how I do.
But this is
graham
amazing.
Crackers and milk. You had a technique.
It's
too.
not even worth it. Tom wins.
Here's my way.
No one needs to know my technique anymore.
Let me take that.
Wait, I'm keeping
Stop it.
these. I'm eating
Give me
these.
Stop
give me
it.
No.
Yeah, give me a spoon.
no.
Yeah.
No, that's
how I do it.
golden grams. Just do golden grams if you're going to make it your cereal.
As my graham cracker cereal continues
I'm going
to
to add this to it.
Yeah, continues to make a mess here. Where are you from? What's your hometown? Length of time you've
man.
been here?
Yeah.
Catch us up.
So how far back do you want to go? Like I was
Like hometown.
I was born
Well, back
in the day. I was born in Williamsport, PA, which is where the Little League World Series is played.
Right.
We're both East Coasters.
Are you?
Yeah.
Right.
How did we
Remind
not
me.
know this?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wow, we're pretty much neighbors.
Pennsylvania.
I knew I liked you.
Neighbors.
Right. That's
all
a good
the states
reason.
over there are miniature.
It's
Right.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just
grew up
like you
there,
could drive
Williamsport.
through and then you're out of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then just before I was a teen, we moved to Las Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah, culture shock,
That's a big
and
move,
it was rough. And then I graduated high school, moved to San Jose to go to San Jose Bible College, and met Laura there. But Laura was born and raised here, so
Now you're here.
so we moved here to
Yeah.
be around her mom and dad while they were getting older, and yeah. So we relocated here in 2001.
Okay. So you've raised your kids. Well, your oldest
Yeah.
was born, but
Yeah, she was only a couple years old when
Okay.
we moved here, and the kids have been raised here. And
this is their home.
how did you find
Opportunities.
living waters? This is a good story.
oh, it is a good story. You want me to go into that?
Yeah.
Okay, so living in the Bay Area, I played bass for the worship team there, and we were on a news group. As strange as it is,
Yeah.
guys who play bass at church will get online and chat about playing bass at church.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bass and parts and
Yeah, and we would get together and show the gear that we play and just nerd out together. And I actually online met Dale Southmaid, and we started
No
talking because
way.
he was playing bass here. And
Wait,
so
Dale plays bass?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
playing a little bit.
What?
yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So got to know him. Of course, met Andy through him. Obviously, they know each other.
Yeah, they do. I've heard that
Strange,
they
but
know each
yeah.
other. Yeah.
Weird connections.
And then I mean, within 4 months, 5 months of it was the first thing we got to go check out the church when we moved here, and just kind of sat in on a couple services, and then it wasn't long after that. I mean, I had to go through will you just kind of check us out first before you just jump up here and start playing. It was kind of.
But you had connection with Dale, so you had.
So it didn't take too long.
Yeah.
It was all right. And so jumped up and started playing bass, and
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question. Did you move here because of Dale, or did you move here because of Laura?
Yeah, Dale's a pretty
well.
powerful-
Dale was a
Yeah.
was a big part of because I already had a friend in
Yeah.
Medford. I got to start out. No, I actually moved here because of a job.
Oh.
I'd gotten laid off from a job in California. I could go into that story. That's a huge story too.
Yeah.
For years, a couple of years, we were. Is there a way I can work from home and still keep this job? And, oh, that might be an option. And then I got laid off. So that wasn't an option anymore.
Yeah.
Turns
and
out.
then I applied at Musician's Friend and got the job. And plus we wanted to be around Laura's mom and dad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
perfect.
I mean,
And you had
Dale
a
was
friend
definitely a part
here,
of it.
so
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many great stories. And so,
Yeah.
you know, this is part of the reason we do the Living Water sketches. It's fun. It's like these little snippets of people's stories. But as you're watching this, you're going to want to say, oh, I want to ask Tom about that. I want to hear about that. Because there's just really cool testimonies, the way that God's moved, miracles and things of timing and providence, and even what he's done for your daughter and the different things you had happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Huge.
so
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
cool. So,
Huge. Yeah.
But now, what are you doing? So you came, Musician's Friend, and now...
And now other things in
there's
between,
a
but
few
now,
little
a
skips.
couple here and there. But now I work at Share Faith, and I'm a technician for the company, basically talking to churches across the country, helping them with their websites, their online giving, their Sunday school curriculum needs, and whatever they've got going on there. What else do we do? A bunch of other stuff, but basically just kind of communicating what do they need, what's going to best make them succeed in what they're doing in their ministry. So yeah,
It's just been a really, I mean, what you do is great. Also in the conversations that we've had on the Leadership Council is how often you have a level of insight into what is happening with churches, what pastors are going through, what churches are going through around the country that has been really great to pull on in some ways, just because we don't have that breadth of connection that you have had in this whole season of walking through this with all these churches. And we'd be like, we know what we're experiencing, but that's a very narrow. There's so many connections with so many people and are dealing with those kinds of things. And that's been good, I'm sure, to be encourager, but it's probably also hard in some ways.
Been really tough. Yeah, you definitely the experience of it's not the same for everybody. You think that the pandemic, the things that's going on, how is that affecting churches? It's not just how is it affecting churches, it's how is it affecting you as a ministry and what's going on in your community, because it's different. It's just, you know, it's the same thing we're all dealing with, but it's very different for each person, and each person is handling it differently too. You know, some of us are just, we're tired, we're done with this thing, let's move on, and we can't. And so there's frustration there, but it's also, you know, the real world issues that it's affecting people. They're just like, well, I'm not going to church, so I can kind of start forgetting about it. And so then churches are hurting because people aren't participating as much as they did. And so they're eager to get back together again, because that does other thing, you know, gets people connected, and people are feeling disconnected, which is so difficult.
Yeah.
You find yourself getting to encourage and pray for, or are you just trying to solve technical things for people, or both?
Both, mostly the technical side of things, just because that's, you know, get done with this person on the phone because you got the next, you know, thing that's going on. There's a recent story of a lady called up. She's probably the secretary. You could tell she was, you know, a little older, but she was trying to figure out just something real simple, doing a billing issue. And she was apologizing to me most of the time, especially because everybody's dealing with what's going on. They're a little angry. And so they kind of take it out with whoever's on the other end of the phone sometimes. But this gal was apologizing because she's like, I'm really sorry. I'm sitting in a hospital room trying to get online to take care of some things on my Chromebook, which I usually don't use. And you're like, well, what's going on? She's like, oh, my husband not long ago had a stroke. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on there? And so those are those moments where you could just go, let's forget about the technical stuff.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah. That's what you need to take care of. I'll get that taken care of for you. Let's talk about what you got going on. And those moments when you can go, don't worry about that stuff right now. You got enough to worry about. Let's talk about what's going what's going on. Graham crackers.
It's the graham crackers. It is. Yeah, absolutely. They were good though.
So good.
What's going on with her and in that moment. And the the fact that she kind of just was like, well, here's what's going on. And, and you could tell she was getting choked up. And as soon as I'm like, hold on just a minute. And I just started praying. Sometimes I'll ask, is it okay if I pray for you right now? But I'm just like, hold on a minute. And I just started praying, and now she's sobbing, and you're just like, so difficult to just not go like, where are you? Oh, you're in Nebraska. Right. I'm on my way. Yeah. I'm going to come be with you, and we're going to work on this stuff together. So those are those moments that just really makes the job so unique, because you do get the tough times of talking to people, but there's definitely those moments where you can walk and go, man, that just is going to stay with me.
It's powerful
for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool job, and totally, as any of the jobs that I've had in between Musicians Friend, even getting to Musicians Friend, has just been God orchestrating that stuff that I never had to like go, oh, I got to go fight to find something. It was just like, oh, here's this next thing. And I'm like, where did that come from?
So great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Aside from work, Tom, what else is going on in your life, or what are some passions that you're experiencing right now?
Yeah, I've got somebody, if you talk to Laura, she will be like, you've got so many hobbies and so many things that you are excited about and get your mind into. Right now, I think I've really gotten a new, I would say whether it's a perspective, but a new new kind of direction for music. Been a musician for a long time, and I used to be involved with helping new artists or people that are, writing music themselves and doing engineering and producing. And I kind of got away from that, being busy and not sure where I wanted to go with, just with recording gear and that kind of stuff. A lot of that I left in California with some friends that I was playing in a band with. And so I've been thinking, even though I've been playing music for 35 years or something like that, I'm like, I need to learn more and get better and do something to kind of get out of a rut. I mean, I think that's pretty common for musicians.
Yeah. Well, it's a good approach to life in general, to just constantly be a learner.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go
wanting
back
to refine the things that you are, excited about or pursuing. And
just go back to the basics and chisel away some new area that you can just improve on. So I think that's kind of what I've been, writing my own stuff, which is mostly instrumental because nobody wants me to sing.
Do back up to someone who sings, and
then I bring that to them. Or on Saturdays I record something called, it's funny that you were mentioning that this is like this sketches thing. That's what I've been calling my little Saturday soundtrack sketches. So I do these little instrumentals and I throw them up on Reverb Nation and just kind of go, well, maybe they
What's
could
the
be
handle so people can go check them out?
If it's on reverbnation.com and then just Tom Boyles.
Boyles.
TomBoyles. Yeah.
Get some Tom Boyles music in your life.
Yeah, it's all instrumental stuff that I just noodle around with it. Who knows? Could be, I use some of my own stuff for music for video games that I'm working on. Somebody else
write the intro for this sketch. Yeah, you do you'll play it in, then people can hear the music and be like, that's Tom playing that.
There you go.
Wow. Cool. Well, I love that, being refined and going back to the basics, as you said, is so right, because it's what I think everybody is experiencing in this season in so many different ways, and we get challenged and things are easy, and then you get pushed back, and then you do have to choose, like what gets refined out of my life, or what do I keep with me as we go forward, and what stays behind, and what do I need to go back to the basics on. And so as we're leading the church leadership council and our team, I think those are the questions that we're often asking ourselves and trying to see, okay, God, what is it you're doing in us? How do we move forward? And as you're looking at Living Waters as a part of the leadership council, is there something you're seeing or sensing God saying, here's where I'm going, or are you excited about a particular thing that's going on around here? Something you're sensing?
What is there not to be excited about?
That's what I think. But
yeah. I mean, just what we were talking about before is just how exciting it is because I do hear of what struggles other churches are having. Not saying there aren't struggles in general, but to be able to just trusting what God's doing and being able to just go, we don't have control in this. We can't, when we can do the best we can with what's going on in each individual city and state
Yeah.
from the mandates. I mean, we have to do what's going on for Oregon. So we do what we can, but also just go, God, this is all yours. You make it happen and do what we can. I think that just in and of itself is what I'm sensing what's going on for Living Waters is there's a reason, and I know this isn't news to you, but there's a reason why God put it right in the heart of the community.
Yeah.
And even with what we've seen happening with so much going on for our community and how Living Waters has been a hub in a place for that community connection. I mean, I'm just excited to what's God going to do next with that. I mean, just so many things that are happening in a way that as people are just being able to walk up and say, what's going on here? Or whatever that might be. I mean, I thought about like, what is it that could very specifically be one of those things that I'd be really excited for? I'm just excited to see what's next. What's, we think of something that, is an opportunity in this little thing, but that could then be so much more, just because we're waiting to go like, all right, God, do it. None of us are sitting here going, okay, well, here's what we want. And here's how we're let's sketch this all out and make these plans. We're just, God, here we are.
Yeah.
Make it happen. What can we do? I can't be more excited about, just seeing, I was around for some of the times where people were coming in and getting supplies that they needed after we dealt with all those fires, and just looking on each face and just go, man, God, what are you?
It's a gift
we
to be
can't.
a part of it.
Yeah, we
It's a total
can't.
gift.
We can't plan this. We can't. Look at that and go like, look what we did.
Nope.
Man.
Nope.
God, how? And
Yeah. Good.
So incredible.
Good stuff. And good stuff is ahead, and I'm excited. I'm excited too, just in general. And I know that we're like, think about specifics, but when you feel like there's a season of setup and you don't have to know what's next, you start to build that internal momentum of just excitement of looking around and seeing where God's moving and what he's doing. So it's really great. Well, thank you, Tom, for hanging out with us today. Showing us how to dip graham crackers correctly. We'll be taking that with us in life. It's the life skills like that you learn and you pass on. Wisdom is powerful. So
it's true.
So thank you all for joining us for Living Water Sketches as we're telling people stories and creating those connection points so that we can see our community expand. And hopefully you enjoy getting to know Tom, follow up with him, take him to lunch. He's great. You'll want to spend some time with Tom.
Yeah. Ask him how he got married or where he got married.
Those good stories. And the miracles of, I just think about the miracles of early on in your time up here in Southern Oregon. It's really cool stuff. So anyway, the point is that we want you to know people and get to know them and know faces so that you feel comfortable coming up to them. And as far as leadership council goes, the same thing, that you can come and talk to Tom about anything that's going on and just share with him, pray with him. He'd love to get to know you more. So thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate you.